we go. I just started. Almost forgot this. All right, perfect. Now, Muslima, first of all, could you please introduce yourself? Yeah, tell us if you're a school student, university student, you work or whatever.
Okay, first of all, can you hear me clearly? Because, okay. So, basically, my name is Muslima Abdurashidova, and I've been studying at the Cambridge Learning Center in Miss Sandra's group for almost 4 months. And currently, I'm studying at the academic lyceum named after Gubkin, and soon I'll be graduating. So, that's the basics.
Cool, thank you. All right, let's dive into your IELTS experience. Yeah, can you tell us about, what happened during the exam? How did it go? What were you feeling like before, the day before, 10 minutes before? What did you do to prepare for it?
Well, I just want to mention that this is my very first language test that I've taken ever. So I've been practicing and learning from the very beginning of IELTS. So for 4 months, I've learned a lot. And when the real exam day came, I wasn't really nervous because I knew that I've been practicing a lot, I've been learning a lot, and and the key thing here is that I've took almost 2 mock tests, and it was like a reference, so I wasn't really nervous on the exam day, and everything was pretty good and peaceful, I would say, because speaking was the very first test that I've took. And when I first came into the speaking room, I just pretended, just for my own mindset, that I'm like a celebrity. And right now, I'll like giving an interview for the public, and people will know better about me. So, as you know, in the first part, you will be asked like some personal questions, and then part 2 and part 3 some general questions, and like it was like a normal conversation with native speakers. So my examiner was a British man, David, I guess his name, and we talked a lot. He was so nice person. I mean, I felt so peaceful, so like grateful for that man was my examiner, and it was like a normal conversation. I didn't feel any pressure, anything that can disturb me or interrupt me, and it was really nice.
Wow, fantastic. All right. Few backup questions. Okay, you said that you have been preparing for IELTS 4 months only, right? Did I get that right?
Yes.
All right. But in general, would you say like how long you have been preparing, like studying English maybe?
Well, I started learning general English, so the basics, in my, I guess, 6th grade. So I started going to extracurriculars and learning just general English tenses, words, and basic vocabulary. But I started IELTS only 4 months ago, which was basically on October. So yeah.
All right. And what exactly did you do during your IELTS prep? Oh, that's fine. Yeah, you can leave it. Thank you. That would help you for this, prepare you for this IELTS speaking. Can you tell us what you did exactly to prepare to improve your speaking skills?
I think the one thing that really helped me was speaking recording. So, Miss Sandra, you remember you would put us in the pairs and we would do like speaking recording, and we shared it in the group chat. Well, I think that was the thing that actually helped me to develop my speaking, because whenever you talk to someone, it's not like a real IELTS speaking exam. It's just like a normal conversation. So you're given some random topics. It can be general, it can be personal, and you will develop your ideas more clearly, more let's say in detailed way. So whenever I did this recording, I started relaxing, because I know that that person is my friend, and she or he will like understand if I do any mistakes. And I remember Rukhsora was my partner like all the times, and she would mention all of my questions that she has noticed. And that actually helped because when you record yourself, because during your speaking, you don't always recognize your mistakes, you don't notice any minor mistakes, maybe, but when you listen to that after recording, you actually notice those details. And then maybe it was about fluency, maybe it was about topic development, but then you listen and try to avoid them maybe the next time. So that's the thing, actually.
So you did practice with a partner.
Yes.
Apparently, being the same person. You should have told me though. I didn't know that it was kind of always. It was kind of random. I try to make it as random as possible, but anyways, I guess it paid off. Right? I mean, it still helped. So you did speak with another friend, and you would record, and you would listen to your recordings actually after some time.
Yes.
Otherwise,
Usually I would listen to them like after 2 or 3 days, whenever I have time. For example, I'm in the public transportation, I have nothing to listen to, and I just put on my own recording and listen to that. And while listening, I just recognize my mistakes and just type into my notes. So the next time I'll just look at them and try to avoid them.
all right.
And the second thing actually that helped me is practicing and doing some mock speaking with AI. So why is that helpful? Because AI is not like, okay, let's say AI is not completely generated to give you the real score, but it can really help you to develop your ideas. For example, I've seen in the others like speaking recordings that they wouldn't develop their ideas like enough, and the examiner would ask some questions to help you to do that. And AI is the same thing. So whenever you were not speaking fluently, you were going, for example, off topic, um, AI will listen till the end and then give his feedback. And it is actually very useful if you're really trying to develop your speaking to improve. And if you want any new ideas, maybe AI will help a lot.
Awesome. So you keep talking about idea development. Is there something specific you did, or you asked maybe AI to focus on that and help you specifically with that?
No, why I keep mentioning is I had, like, personally, I had problems with idea development because I could go off topic or I could just create some kinds of systems for my own self to develop my speaking. However, it wasn't correct. And AI gave me like one structure that is like perfect. So it is you um, uh, give the explanation to the question and give one example. So that's the structure. It's very simple, but it's efficient. So whenever you're trying to explain something, you have to give a relevant example for that. And it is really helpful because that's what IELTS speaking requires. So yeah,
You try to answer the question, explain, and give example.
yes.
Right. Uh-huh. Okay. All right. Awesome. Okay. What about grammar vocabulary? Did you do anything specific to improve those two areas?
Well, starting from grammar, no, I didn't do anything specific to improve my grammar because I was pretty good at grammar. So I've been learning this section, I guess, for 4 years. I've completed a lot of textbooks and a lot of practices, and I think I know enough about grammar. But when it comes to vocabulary, well, a week uh, so before my real exam, I started watching the films, my favorite series in English. So and I just turned on the subtitles. So whenever I don't understand the word, I just look at the subtitles and just write it down on my copybook, and search for its translation or description, let's say. So that actually helped because you can see how people, like international people, like real native speakers, use these words, high level words, let's say, in their daily lives. So that actually helps you to use them in your speech. It's like a reference, let's say.
Awesome. I'm noticing your pronunciation is very good as well. Like you sound very natural. What do you think has helped you with that?
I have been pretty fluent, let's say, and my pronunciation was quite good from the very beginning of my English journey. The reason is that I actually, whenever I learn some new words, I've searched for its pronunciation on the internet or from my teachers and tried to learn them correctly. That's why whenever I see some new words, some complex words, I know how to pronounce them. So I've been practicing with my teachers, with my friends who are actually good at English, and it's really helped me again.
All right, awesome. It's again, it's not just your every word is correct or pronounced well. It is also that smoothness. You know, this we call that chunking and stressing. You're doing that pretty well. You have never tried any imitations before? Or shadowing, we
Okay.
call
I've tried one method that is called shadowing. So it's basically when you watch something in English, for example, let's say some talk shows, podcasts, or etc., and try to say the same thing with the same pronunciation, fluency. And the thing that I've tried is that I like, let's say, I've been doing shadowing for 2 months, I guess, before my real exam. And the thing that is more efficient is that I did every sentence that people were talking in the show. So I started watching my favorite series in English, and I just stopped in every sentence after they said and repeated for myself. And I tried my best to speak like them.
So
So yeah,
that also helped you, do you think?
yes, yes, it really
Oh,
helped me.
cool. Awesome. Okay, so we talked about fluency, language, pronunciation, things that you've done, okay, to improve your or prepare well for the test. You've talked about the strategies that you've used. All right. Okay, so overall, now let's briefly talk about the actual exam experience because you talked about like how smoothly it went. It was great, but did the examiner, for example, interrupt you or ask you additional like why or how or like really questions while you were speaking?
No, not at all.
Is that because you
Um,
were doing yourself really well, developing your ideas really well?
I think yes, because I remember the questions that the examiner asked me and my answers. So I tried my best to develop my ideas more clearly and to give some relevant examples. Um, and I guess my vocabulary was pretty well. And the thing that I want to say is that everything, like every category you're learning and speaking specifically, they have to be like perfectly combined all together. So your like fluency, cohesion, coherence, and vocabulary. So that's when you sound more natural. So yeah.
Right. And did you like stop yourself when, you know, in each part, like part one or part two, like, you know, that interaction I'm interested in because I'm interested in if you were giving very short answers and the examiner was asking the next question or you were speaking at length and the examiner stopped you to ask you the next question. Was it like, what was it like?
So let's start from part one. So in part one, basically, I didn't have any interruptions, and some extra questions. So there was one time only in part one when I was speaking and he was yes, and he was trying to go to the next question, but that was the exact when I tried to stop myself. So my idea was completed, and then I was just about to stop myself. And
Oh,
but I don't think it was like a mistake or something negative. So yeah.
oh, nice, nice. Okay. In part two, examiner stopped you, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So in part three, no additional questions. The examiner asked you one question, you said something, fully developed it, and then they asked you the next question. It was like that.
Yes. Yes.
All right. All right. Cool. Okay. Later, I'm going to ask you some questions. We will kind of, I want you to perform like you would or like you did during your real exam. All
Okay.
right. Okay. So let's see. One final thing about your exam experience. While speaking, right, during the exam, what did you focus on? Like grammar, vocab, fluency, ideas?
Um, okay, let's say I've been learning English and I always tried not to focus on some specific parts because for me, English is all these four parts, or let's say all of these parts all together. And I don't really, if I focus on only one um, section, I will lose the fluency, and it won't sound natural. That's why I just speak naturally what comes to my mind and try to put it in one structure, so your answer and example, and that's all. And the very interesting part in my real exam was that in part two I was given very unusual topic. So it was about describe your for example, one building that you would like to visit, and I have no idea what to say, okay, because I've never thought about that. And of course, but the first thing that came to my mind was the White Palace in St. Petersburg that I have learned in the sixth grade. Well, 5 years passed, and I still remember. And the one thing that it is very necessary to learn is visualizing, okay? So whenever you are given a question, just visualize your answer in your mind. And the first thing, of course, that came to my mind was that palace. And I just remembered the pictures, the photos of that palace. For example, interior, its patterns, its just overall look, and everything was perfectly matched for what I was going to say, okay? And I was really excited that I remember that because I remembered the colors, the details, and the design, the overall look, and everything was like so lucky because like whenever I did some speaking mock before my real exam, I always thought that I'm like a fortune's fool because I always got like 7.5, and I wasn't sure that my speaking is that low, okay? Because I knew that my vocabulary is on like advanced level and my speaking and the pronunciation is quite well. That's why that was very lucky experience.
Right. So I think this is very important as well for other candidates who are maybe doing mock tests and they feel like their scores are higher, but in the mock exam, they end up getting lower scores. This is a perfect
Yes,
example, right? You also did not get good
yes,
scores. You're getting 7,
yes.
7.5, but you ended up with 8. That is worth definitely highlighting. Okay, awesome. All right. So I've asked you questions about all of that. Okay, do I have any other questions left before we move to the mock speaking part? All right. I mean, I agree with every single thing you're saying for sure. Right. So in one word, during your speaking, yeah, like anytime, maybe not just during a real exam, but anytime, even right now, you seem like you're focused on communication. Would you agree with that? I mean, is that how you,
Yes,
what you focus on?
yes,
And visualization a little bit.
of course. Just
Instructor.
try to be natural. Okay,
Yeah.
let's pretend that you're talking to your friend, okay? Whenever you're feeling like stressed or like you're under pressure, just relax and imagine that the examiner is your friend and you're just talking like briefly about something personal and about something in general. Like we're
Okay.
doing right now, Miss Sandra.
Right. But it's just like I just remembered one thing. How would you feel the same way if the examiner was looking too serious? Like, like
Okay, the
during
same
your
thing happened during my mock test, my second mock test. So it was
Mm,
face to face,
yeah.
and my examiner was a bit pessimistic, I would say. She wouldn't listen, I guess, or she wasn't like caring a lot about my speaking.
Mm,
And but I didn't lose myself because I don't want anybody to interrupt me, to disturb with their mood,
mm.
and I don't copy their mood. Okay, I just I just try to be myself, speak. I am positive. I am talking. I am having like a good conversation. People are asking me some very great and unusual questions. So that's what I mostly focus on.
100%. That is the case. Yeah. No matter what the examiner looks like. Yeah. That's what you
Yes,
should be doing. That is so true.
of
So true.
course.
So awesome. Okay. Right. I feel like, yeah, that's about it. Like we covered essential things. Now, before we turn to mock, do you have any like additional maybe tips for other candidates who are stuck at 7, they want, or at 7.5, they want 8, or even lower candidates, I like lower scoring candidates.
Well, I would suggest them to watch more high band speaking videos on the YouTube or any other platforms because that's what I did before my exam. So there are a lot of like speaking imitations online, and you can watch them and learn maybe something new. They are maybe sentence structures, how complex they are, their vocabulary and phrasal verbs that they use a lot. Maybe some idioms. Well, there was a question in the comment section about idioms. Should I use them? So I would say yes. Feel free to use them, but do not overuse. So just know the limits, and they have to be relevant. They have to support your idea, and do not try to put everything that you know in one sentence, in one, for example, in one test, because you can get it wouldn't sound that natural, and it will like affect to your fluency maybe, and maybe self-confidence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably. All right, let me see. I'm looking for like additional questions that people have asked. So one of the followers says, okay, first question is, could you provide every tip in every speaking part that helped you a lot? Do you think you've answered all these questions, or is there anything left you could add for part one, part
uh,
two?
in every speaking part that helped you a lot. uh, okay, as I mentioned before, I do not really rely on one specific section of my speaking.
Mm,
So I've been mentioning this a lot. Just try to be natural. Just have
mm,
like a normal conversation.
mm,
And if you've mastered vocabulary, grammar, that's all. That's all you need. Just
mm.
answer to the questions like it's on in your daily life. So imagine that your friend is asking these questions, maybe to learn more about you.
Hmm.
So that's the thing, I
Oh,
guess.
wait. When we speak with our friends, we usually answer briefly, or yeah, it may not even be structured. It may not even complete sentences sometimes. What do you think about that?
It depends. It depends. For example, okay, let's say that you are talking to the native speaker that is not your examiner, but just a person who would like to know more about you. So he will ask he or she will ask something unusual, something more personal, for example, your daily life, study place, trips, etc., education. And in part two, he or she would like to know more about some one specific thing. For example, it can be a story. It is most likely to be a story. For example, one trip that you enjoyed the most. So you will think about the trip, or even if you haven't experienced that just try to come up with a good idea that you can support, that you can talk for 2 minutes, and just talk, just speak. So yeah.
Oh, so
And
you're
in part three, oh,
no,
sorry, for interrupt.
definitely.
So in part three, just general questions. For example, whenever you're talking to your friend, you will end up getting some general questions. For example, what do you think about education in Uzbekistan, or in overall in those specific countries? So this is like a normal conversation between two people.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to be nervous about.
Mhm. All right, I like that. I like that. Yeah, definitely. For some people, it's really helpful to feel that. Great. Okay. Next question is: did you read sample answers? Did you find them helpful?
Yes, of course. Miss Sandra, you remember you sent the file with some specific part two, part one, part two, part three questions, and there were like sample answers for that. And I used to read them a lot because it can help you to come up with ideas, because sometimes you will get those questions that you've never thought about. And when you look at the sample answers, you will learn the sentence structure. How did they, for example, come up with those ideas, what you can say instead. And that actually helped me, yes.
All right. Okay, cool. Yes, people keep reading sample answers and analyzing them. If they're not good,
Sure.
use AI to improve them, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Third question is this: does slow speech help in speaking part two? Like, for example, you read not that fast, trying to pass the time. Oh, so to extend the speech, I guess you speak slowly, so you reach that 2 minute thing. What do you think? Is that a good strategy, good idea?
Well, personally, I don't speak slow. Personally, I don't do that because, like, I will try my best to develop my idea, to give more examples, to give more details, and my speech is like naturally fast. But if you are a person who wants to think about your answer in advance and then speak, then it's okay to speak like that if that's your natural way of speaking. But for time tracking, you don't have to rely on that too much, because sometimes you can get some questions that are like quite unexpected, or when you get the questions that you already know the answers for, it is okay to describe like slowly if that's your, like, let's say, that's how you speak normally. But there's no one structure for speaking, like whether if it's fast or slow. There's no one structure. It's like unique for everyone. That's
Right,
all.
right. But I would mention this one thing. If this person is thinking in terms of speaking slowly as a strategy to stretch the time, that is not a good idea.
Yes.
They can be slow, maybe. I mean, we all can be slow sometimes when we're thinking at the beginning, right? But we need to show that fluency. So we can mix a little bit of slow, a little bit fast, but not too fast either, right? Because speaking too fast also is not the right way to go. So the goal is speaking clearly, right? Developing ideas, explaining yourself in a very comfortable way for you. But don't be too fast and too slow,
Yes,
right?
yes. Exactly.
All right. The rest of the questions you already answered, I think. So
Yeah,
if there's no other questions, then maybe I'll ask you. Now we move on to the mock speaking part. What do you think?
sure.
All right. Awesome. So some part one maybe and some part three questions. Okay, part one questions. Let me just like time it a little bit for myself. Okay, now we're talking about daily routine. What are the benefits of getting up early?
Well, personally, I'm not a person who gets up very early, but I am supposed to do so. But I think the benefits of waking up early is that it helps you to be more productive during the day. It can help you with time management because you'll have more time to do some certain tasks that you have to do. And it is quite beneficial for those who want to time track every single thing that they want to do.
And why do you think some people like to stay up late?
Can you repeat, please?
Why do you think some people like to stay up late? They don't go to bed
Uh,
early. Yeah.
Well, there are a variety of reasons why people stay up late because some people they have very strict routine and maybe they don't have like much time to do some maybe their homework, maybe their studies or some kinds of projects, and that's why they stay up late to complete them. So that's only one reason.
There's no other reason. Got it. Do you think being punctual is important?
Can you repeat? I mean, there is like a disconnection, I guess.
Sorry, that's okay. Do you think being punctual is important?
Being punctual is important, right? Uh-huh. I think it is important to be punctual because for some people who would like to be maybe improve their personality, maybe improve their daily life, it is important for them to track like the activities that they are doing, and to they try to complete everything on time. So I guess it is beneficial for them, and it will give like access to a variety of tasks or activities for them.
All right. Okay, let's do a part two as well. Yeah, what do you think? If you're
Hmm.
open to it. All right.
Yes.
In this part two, I want you to describe an online video where you learn something. Okay? Describe an online video where you learn something new. You need to say when and where you watched that video, what it was about, why you watched it, how you felt about it, what new thing you learned from it. Okay?
Do I have time to prepare?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Take it. You understood the question, right?
Yes, yes.
I might be able to share my screen. How about like that? Like this. All right. Can you start speaking now, please?
Okay. So the one online video that I've recently watched and I learned a lot from it was psychology of serial killers. So basically, it's like a video about some criminals and how their brain works. So this video taught me a lot because I've learned how do their brain works. So basically, everything starts from their childhood, from their background. Many of them, like majority of them, they have a dark past past, their parents were not emotionally stable or were just absent. Um, they like have a lack of let's say education and conversation with their parents, with their relatives, and they are those people uh, who s- who were supposed to grow up too early to become mature from the early ages. So that means that they became this cruel towards the world because they didn't have the kindness, the like positive emotions towards them. So when they grow up, when they become more dominant, they try to show their dominance, their strength towards weaker people, as someone did to them in their past. So that taught me a lot because actually everything starts from the background, from the very childhood. So it is very important to be stable, to learn something new in terms of education, in terms of some moral skills, and you have to grow up like psychologically.
All right.
Psychologically, yes.
Thank you. Cool, cool. All right, now some part three questions. Okay. Now, what kinds of videos are most popular in your country?
Well, there are a variety of types of the videos that are very popular in my country, but I would say that the most popular ones are about video games because right now people are very interested in playing online games, and there are some tutorials on the YouTube that people watch to play like more correctly, to win more, let's say.
Hmm. Are there many people who watch online videos a lot?
Yes, definitely, because online videos are those sources that actually help you to learn something new. Because there are a lot of videos that are educationally like supportive. For example, you're given a task to learn some kinds of novels, yeah, from the literature, and you don't have time to read like the whole book, and you just go to the YouTube and find the shortened version of that book, like the book retelling,
Hmm.
and that makes sense actually.
Hmm. Do you think that some people spend too much time watching
Can you
videos?
repeat, please?
Do you think that some people will like spend too much time watching videos online?
It actually it depends on person, because well, right now, yes, we have this problem among youth. They spend too much time on social media, on watching some reels or some short videos on the YouTube, and it is actually very bad for their productivity and time management.
Mhm. You mentioned the short videos among young people. What do you think, like, in comparison with longer videos, why some younger people are obsessed with short videos?
I think the short videos, like the word says for itself, like short videos. So they watch it like quickly and learn something new, or watch something more like regarding to the entertainment, some funny videos, and they get like a quick dopamine. So yeah.
But is it a good thing, do you think? Is that a good trend where people are switching from longer videos to shorter ones, like in the long term, maybe?
No, because if you watch those short videos like continuously, it will become like a habit, and eventually you will stop watching some longer videos, for, let's say, that lasts half an hour or something like this. But they are actually very useful in terms of education, in terms of, for example, self-improvement, and like it will get you addicted into those short videos or reels.
All right, thank you. That is the end of the test. Well, you guys have heard, I think, how she's speaking amazing, right? I love it. You are really doing exactly what you talked about. Focusing, fluency, just communication, really. Yeah. And you seem
Yes.
incredibly comfortable with the whole process, like very calm and comfortable. I love it.
Thank
All
you.
right. And you were offering help to others, yes? That you
Yes.
wanted to practice with others. Can you maybe talk about that a little bit, like announce that and share that so others can?
Well, okay. So I am announcing that I can like officially help anyone with speaking. So basically, we can do it online on this Telegram platform via video chat or maybe voice chat if you're comfortable. And you can just DM me and I will respond.
All right, you guys heard, right? Her speaking skills, as you can see, like everything she is saying is like 100% valid. Okay, so if there's anyone who wants to practice more with her or just get advice in general like that, like reliable source, Muslima, right there.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Muslima. Congratulations on your amazing score. You know, you definitely deserve it. You know,
Thank you
like
very much,
amazing.
Miss Sandra. I
It's
am
not like
grateful that I've
people, okay? So because some people might be like, oh, she got lucky, maybe that's what. No, no, no. Like she has absolutely valid points and communication. So you perfectly demonstrated that. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Have
Miss Sandra, for this amazing opportunity. I mean, that's the first time like doing this kinds of podcast or interview, let's say,
yeah,
online. So yes,
right.
I am really excited actually. It's very helpful for me.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Glad to hear that. Thank you so much. Have a good
Thank you.
one. Bye
Thank you.
bye.